just set the scene for you here, right? Position flexibility, Landon Collins replacement, Buffalo nickel, no matter how much you hate about hearing it, pairing up with Cam Curl, one of the best young safeties, one of the best young defensive players in the NFL, and he falls out of the top 10 and is the best player on the board. Let's talk about the obvious choice at 11 here. One, Kyle Hamilton, safety from Notre Dame. And welcome to the Sidelines Washington YouTube channel. It is draft week, and to bring you all the latest coverage for your Washington Commanders, where we take command for the SSN, I'm your host and head of NFL operations here, Parker Hammond. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on notifications to get all the latest on the, of course, Sidelines Washington YouTube channel here, where we also have the Sidelines Washington podcast. Here with the Podfather this week, got an exciting new announcement involving Manscaped, and it's draft week, like I said, guys. So a lot of really exciting stuff here. Make sure you guys head over to manscaped.com and use promo code SSNWFT for 20% off your order and free shipping on all items on the Manscaped website. I mean, you got it all here. You got the Crop Reviver. You got the Crop Preserver, ball deodorant for your sack. You got the razor. Mine's charging right now. But like I said, head over to manscaped.com and take advantage of the deal. I want to thank everybody who watches our YouTube content and listens to the show for all the support, moving us along with Manscaped there. But let's talk about the unicorn. My favorite player in this draft, and no, not because I'm a Notre Dame fan. One, Kyle Hamilton, safety from Notre Dame. His first ever defensive snap with the Fighting Irish was a pick six. It only took one play. That kind of summarizes kind of the defensive value that a guy like Kyle Hamilton brings. It has actually been 5 years since a safety has been taken in the top 10 of the NFL draft. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. So if Kyle Hamilton falls out of the top 10 and he's there at 11 for the Washington football team need or not, he's a guy that you put on your squad. High football IQ. It's just easy to see him being a commander. Defense, Notre Dame's defense, that is last year, went from 14th to 43rd in college football because of his injury. He was a very versatile player back in high school, 4-star prospect. You look at his combine, which, I mean, a lot of people are going to get caught up in this 40 time, which is absolutely ridiculous because it's really not as big of a deal as people make it out to be, because the guy is not a box safety. Listen to our latest episode with Damian Bartonic from Rigo's Rag and Dame's Dropback. He talks about how this guy has more experience in all facets of the game on defense than any other safety prospect. So you could definitely outrule this guy being a box safety just because it's 40-time people. I mean, come on. We got to do better than that. I mean, look at the size here at the position. 6'4", 220 pounds. You know, he's a junior at Notre Dame. High school career, like I said, pretty solid. His collegiate career at Notre Dame speaks for itself. I mean, this guy was one of the best players in college football, definitely one of the best defensive players in college football. No arguments there. I mean, 8 interceptions, 7.5 sacks, 16 pass breakups. And, this is with teams playing away from him. I mean, he's playing more coverage than any other safety in college football. And dare I say, this guy's a generational talent. I know I'm wearing the Predator shirt, Chase Young. People use that tag on him a lot. Had a very ineffective 2021. But the defense is one big living, breathing organism, man. And on that back end, of course, Bobby McCain just re-signed, free agent we picked up last May. So you have him and Cam Curl in the back. But you cannot downplay the magnitude of a guy like Kyle Hamilton if you add him with a player like Cam Curl. I mean, those are two absolutely dangerous players on the back end of your defense. Kind of reminds me of what they have going on in Buffalo if that were to come to fruition here for the Washington Commanders. Like I said, a phenomenal talent on all three levels, really. Superb instincts, extremely patient, an elite tackler with range, might I add. And he's just extremely explosive. And despite his 40 time, his change of direction is extremely quick. He can play zone. I mean, he can play against the run, like I said. I mean, he attacks blocks. I mean, look at the Navy game. It was just crazy. He's great in nickel, gets awesome pressure on the quarterback, and his ball skills are up at the top of the draft class in regards to skill. He quickly locates the ball, and he disrupts at an elite level. And elite is a word that you're going to hear a lot with a guy like Kyle Hamilton, no matter what team he goes to. He's just a nightmare in the slot as well. He's big, he's physical, he gets his hands on defensive backs, and he's also a pretty good special teams player as well, dating back to his high school days. As far as weaknesses, obviously he got hurt second half of the year. I think he was actually covering Drake London, who seems to be a favorite here for the Washington Commanders, a wide receiver at 11 if he falls down to 11. And a lot of this, of course, banks hard on what does the league think about this class, and it's reported that the Commanders aren't high on it, but they said everything gets important at the middle. So that might mean that they're cool with whatever falls to them at 11 or trading back. Kyle Hamilton, of course, people not crazy about the combine, but I mean, if you check the tape, and the tape is all you got, especially during these COVID days, the tape does not lie. Some people will say he's slow. I just don't agree with that sentiment. I think he gets burned deep a lot, but I mean, he's a bigger guy, and it's all about the assignment as well. There's a lot of context there. And like I said, his football IQ is just absolutely through the roof. I mean, he's running routes for players sometimes, and he's always the smartest player on the field. I mean, as far as just some of his best games, I mean, really just the first thing I think of when I think about Kyle Hamilton in regards to his strengths is the Alabama game, the FSU game. I mean, just look at the tape, people. It's all in there. It's all online for you to see it. You see a lot of the traits that I'm referencing. But I mean, now that it's draft week and we're talking about what we need at 11, you could say that Kyle Hamilton isn't necessarily a need for the Washington Commanders. But when you get a chance to add a talent the level of a guy like Kyle Hamilton, you do not pass up on that no matter your strengths. Everyone knows that a guy like Kyle Hamilton will mean more for this organization down the line than a guy like Chris Olave. I understand you've already got, pretty reasonable amount of depth down to the back on the safety end of the position. You got Bobby McCain, and I understand the disparity at wide receiver. You need somebody to match up with Terry. But at the end of the day, when a guy like that falls to you and league executives are passing him down like he's really not worth what they're saying he's worth, people said a lot of the same things about Jonathan Allen. And I think everybody can agree that worked out long-term for the Washington football team, at least so far. So if you can make that back end elite and make people scared to throw at you, that means a lot more to me than a wide receiver too, especially when this organization is a lot higher on Curtis Samuel than they want all of us to believe. Of course, Terry is a big factor in this with money as well. I'm sure he'd be happy to bring another OSU guy. Like I said, that OSU trio, you go with Olave or Wilson. I don't think he's making it out of the top 10. I think Hamilton's probably one of the only guys that make it out of the top 10. I mean, people saying Drake London's not even going to make it out of the top 10. So, but like I said, today is about Kyle Hamilton. And with a guy like Kyle Hamilton, no luck needed, even though he was a part of the Irish. One big player comparison that I constantly see for Kyle Hamilton, Derwin James. A lot of people saying that the Washington Commanders should have made a push for Derwin James. They ended up drafting Deron Payne, who's probably going to be out of this organization within the next year. At least that's what was being reported today. So if you think that if you think that Kyle Hamilton can be a player of the magnitude of Derwin James, do you make that pick at 11? Do you think the Washington Commanders need a safety? Leave a comment below. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button. You click the description, and there's a link tree in the bio. It sends you to all social media, sends you to our YouTube channel, podcast realm as well, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, doesn't matter. We got it all there for all you guys. It's draft week, guys. Let's get excited. FedEx Field Thursday night. Whoever falls to the Commanders at 11, I feel like they're going to be talented. But you don't have to rely on talent or even luck when you get a guy like Kyle Hamilton. There is no luck needed. Until next time, this is the SSN YouTube signing off. Peace.